this short video, I'll be talking about Nahida's weapon options, catalysts that are already available in your inventory or roster perhaps, or that are already available in the game up to 3.1 basically. Now she'll be debuting in a few days, so I don't have her on the screen. I have Klee as a substitute, just as cute. With Nahida, just know that there's two ways to play her apparently. There's an on-field way and an off-field way, and therefore you have to build her differently too. I guess that applies to most characters or many of the characters as well, because as we now know, officially, Nahida's burst will be deployed, like a giant, basically AoE, and then she can be swapped out, right? To buff your other teammates, right? It doesn't actually do damage itself. And she herself can be on field to do support, sub DPS, or DPS roles. So keep that in mind. So let's just talk about if you were to build her. So let's just briefly go over the artifact choices for her. It's going to be either the Dendro set, Deep Whip Memories, 4-piece set, or the 4-piece Gilded Dream set, and both are from the same domain in Sumeru, which is great. So apparently, if you're playing her on field, both sets would work, but if you go with the Gilded Dreams, if you want extra damage, one of your teammates should also have the 4-piece Deep Whip Memories, such as maybe Kole or any of the it could be a non-Dendro character that uses that too, apparently. And, they can just have it, and it works off-field, right? So they just have to have it. And then it would shred some Dendro resistance, and then it would just make Nahida's damage more stronger. So keep that in mind. But I mean, you can just put it on her and it should be fine too. As long as you play her on field, you will shred their resistance and her damage will go up as well. If someone else has the Deep Whip Memories, then she herself can equip the Gilded Dreams. Then that's how it would work. Now, regardless of that, what weapons do we recommend? So she's definitely an amazing character, and we're not going to talk about the 1,000 floating dreams. Obviously that's going to be her best in slot, but what is comparable to that? And the 5-star side, I don't have it on the screen because I don't have it, but the Kagura's Verity is a great option. So basically Yaimiko's weapon that's coming up in phase 2 of 3.2. That weapon is going to be a great weapon for Nahida to use on field as a DPS and sub DPS character because of the crit damage substat and the passive, which buffs the attacks and the damage and the skills, etc., etc. So that's going to be an amazing weapon. Now, without that though, what other weapons are there? Lost Prayers. This is a standard weapon that's available in the standard weapon banner, and also when you lose 50/50 on the weapon banner. And on the standard character and weapon banner, basically. So this is a great weapon. As you can see, my Klee has it. I have multiple copies of it. If I get Nahida and if I wanted to change her to DPS role, then I would probably be willing to give one of these copies to her because it's already built up. And then, yeah, that'd be fine. And then if I want to go the 4-star option, I would definitely go with the widsith then, because then it's basically the widsith. Gave it to Yaimiko, as you can see, way back from my previous videos as well. Basically, I chose this over the getting her signature weapon for Yaimiko when she debuted, because I'm glad I made that decision because I actually don't use Yaimiko at all. So so then the widsith is a great weapon, and it is coming up on the phase 1 the weapon banner as well. So this is a great option if you're doing it for DPS Nahida builds. And again, I have multiple copies, so I will be happy to also give this to her as well if that works for her. Another DPS option would be the Solar Pearl. This is a Battle Pass exclusive weapon, so not many people will have it, especially if you're free to play or if you didn't buy this as part of your Battle Pass. So this weapon is an amazing weapon option as well. It definitely boosts the crit rate and the normal attack and charge attack and elemental skill and elemental burst, as you can see, the passive. So it's a very well-rounded weapon as well. Okay, other more, not crit focused, but still damage focused weapons will be the Dodo Coattails. Now, this was only available for those players who played the Summer Adventure for last summer's Island Adventure for Klee. So for those who are newer, won't have this, unfortunately. But this is a great event weapon that basically is a non-crit version of the Solar Pearl, or even like of the Lost Prayers. Basically, it's like a cheaper event version of it, I guess you can call it. Yeah. So this is not bad as well as an option. Okay, so those were all the crit-based options. We're going to skip all the healing options, so that gets rid of Everlasting Moonglow and, of course, Prototype Amber as well, right? Um, Now, just to quickly talk about some other more niche weapons, the Frostbearer is a weapon from the Dragon Spine craftables. This one is okay too, because it's also normal and charge attacks. If you have nothing better, and if you did actually go ahead and craft this, then sure, why not? This could work as well, but not many people have it crafted, and not many people really cared for it. I want to go back to another option that I just saw. Blackcliff Agate. This is available in the Paimon shop every other month. And this is a great stat stick for the crit damage alone. Now, the passive is not sustainable because you have to make sure that you're fighting more than one enemy at any given time, and you have to kill them, kill up to 3 of them to keep the stacks up for the damage bonus. But it's not a bad weapon, and it is technically free to play. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, so now we can move on to the support weapons or non-crit or attack-focused ones. So Favonia's Codex is a very good placeholder. However, this won't be the best option for Nahida because she doesn't actually need energy recharge. Apparently, her energy recharge needs are very, very low for her bursts. So I don't think the energy is going to be her top stat to go for. She will be doing split scaling between attack and elemental mastery with a more leaning towards elemental mastery. So energy recharge in this case is not suitable for her unless you have nothing better. Then this is a good placeholder until you get something better, and make sure that you have to make sure her artifacts have good crit rates, and that way you can get the passive to get the extra energy. We're going to skip the Thrilling Tales unless you want to put this on her and just use her as a quick swap to give a bonus to the next character. But she's not going to benefit from the substat of HP, so we'll just quickly skip over that. Sacrificial Fragments. This one is a great weapon when we're talking about Elemental Mastery. This has the highest Elemental Mastery of the 4-star weapons available in the game. And it is Sucrose's best weapon, but this allows you to do 2 of Nahida's skills back to back, potentially. However, keeping in mind her skill may have a short cooldown. We don't know for sure yet until it's officially released. It may have a short cooldown, and also the animation may be long anyway, so I don't know that you need to proc her skill twice. I don't know. So that's why it's questionable for this weapon, but if it's for static purposes, yes, the Elemental Mastery is definitely highest on this for the 4-star grouping, but the base attack is lower. And keeping in mind, she needs a good balance of both. Okay. Now, when we talk about other elemental mastery weapons, we also talk about the Mapamare. This is a craftable, it's completely free. This is also not bad. So the only problem is the elemental mastery is lower here than the sacrificial fragments, but the base attack is higher. The passive requires her to be on the field though. She has to be the one to make the reactions, and then she'll get the bonus. So this is not a bad option at all, but just if you're playing her on field, then that's what this is for. I forgot to talk about the Hakushin ring, but this is another energy recharge one, and this won't really work for her because it's not really, unless you play her specifically with electro characters, this is not going to be for her. And again, it's energy recharge, she doesn't need it. And then there's also Oathsworn Eye, another attack weapon. This is from the Enkanomiya event quest, and so not many newer players will have this, but this is also an energy recharge focused passive, so again, it's not suitable for her, even though it's an attack substat. Okay, last but not least, we have the Wandering Evenstar, which is on the current 3.1 Phase 2 banner. And I was lucky to get 1 copy, and I didn't go any further. It does have a middle, if you see here, it's a middle ground between the Mapamare and the Sacrificial Fragments for both the Elemental Mastery and the base attack stat. The passive is actually very straightforward. If you build her with a lot of Elemental Mastery, she will basically get extra flat attack damage, which isn't much, and then she'll pass on 30% of that flat attack bonus to the other characters. So some people calculated already, it's not much, trust me. It's basically 96 maximum at 30% max to the other characters, and herself it's just going to be like, 270 or 280-ish. It's not that much more, but this one is in the middle of the road here. It is base attack 510 and elemental mastery 165, as you can see. So I personally am going to actually give this to Nahida and try it out on her. Now, unfortunately, I don't have it at high refines, but you can never guarantee that unless you whale on the weapon banner for the limited series weapon. So I'm very happy that I at least got 1 already, right? So I can try it out. I will try this on her and see how it goes, because I may or may not have all the elemental mastery for her in the artifacts, so this could be a nice like way to get some here. I will also still try out the sacrificial and we'll see how it goes. Of course, I'm going to pull for Nahida. To me, she's a must-have character. So I'm going to definitely pull for her. I'm not going for her floating dreams, 1,000 floating dreams. However, I will throw a few wishes there. And if I'm lucky, then great. And if I'm not going to be upset about it because I know that I have these other weapon options as well. And if I choose to change my playstyle and I want to make her more damage focused and crit focused, I will be willing to steal this from my baby Klee here and give it to the other one, my other baby, Nahida, and give the last prayers to her. This one that's an R2, give that to her, and then Klee can just take the R1 one off of Ningguang, and then it'll just go down like that, and then Ningguang can take the Solar Pearl from Yanfei, etc., or vice versa. I can also take the Solar Pearl and give it to Nahida. Lots of options, okay? Or the widsith. I can take that from the Yaimiko as well. Either or, like there's so many options for Nahida, so I think she's going to be really fun, and I'm looking forward to getting her. So those are my options. I do want to quickly point out there is one last option that I forgot to talk about. It's a 3-star weapon, and many people in online forums have been recommending this weapon because apparently when it's R5 and maxed out, the Elemental Mastery is higher than, I think, Sacrificial is what they said, or higher than Wandering Star at least, and the passive does work in this case. If you put her in a team that has Hydro and Electro, or Hydro or Electro, then at least it will work. So there is that option too. But the base attack will be lower though. Keep that in mind because it is a 3-star weapon. So I don't have this at R5 and I don't plan to obviously level it up and all that because like I said, I have all these other options. But for those of you who are newer players to the game and may have this at R5 and may have been using it or on other characters already, maybe keep it and give it to Nahida. That might be a great option as well if you do decide to go for her. All right, so I just want to share my thoughts on the weapon options that are currently available for Nahida and what I'm planning to do. Lots of options. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to be very excited. Again, I'm likely going to settle her on the Wandering Even Star, but if it's not working enough for her, I will upgrade it to the Sacrificial if I'm going the EM side. If I'm going to go the DPS side, I'm probably going to take like the Lost Prayers, or I'm going to take the widsith, basically. Those are the options that I'm going to give. All right, so that's how I'm going to do it. But let me know what you guys are planning to do with Nahida, or if you're even going to pull for her or go for her weapon, or what weapon you're going to give her. Other players even said that the healing option, Prototype Ember, they could try to give it to her and just give her a healing aspect. That's a very niche gameplay style, not what I'm planning to do, but some players did say that in the forums as well. So let me know what you guys plan to do with your Nahida and what weapon you're going to give her. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.